What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Garage Closes at 9. This is episode 3. It's been a lot of fun these first two episodes. We've had a lot of engagement on our social media, so we want to thank everybody for that. We've had some segments where we were coming up with a mock draft, best number 3 options, an overrated, underrated segment. It seems that Jonah's lost every segment so far, according to the people on social media, the polls and the comments.
Yeah, I just wanna say real quick, Draymond Green is the leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year right now. That's all I'm saying. If my third best player is the best defender in the league, I'm pretty happy with that. So I think I had a good list still.
Well, you had people saying, "Get off the weed, drug test this man."
Yeah, and then I
All
I click his story and it's a bunch of Laker pictures. I'm like, okay, it's just a Laker fan. I'm not worried about it.
Depoy doesn't mean anything now these days. Rudy Gobert leads the league in depoys. Stop
And,
it.
and, and he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
That's how we're starting this episode off. All right.
right. Episode 3 wasn't even going to be
Yeah, it's not even a lot of
a
basketball.
draft or anything. Yeah, it's not a lot of basketball, but Jonah's starting with the wild takes. So, like I said, thank you everybody for the first 2 episodes. It's a lot of fun. But to get into episode 3, like we said, it's not going to be strictly basketball. We want to do something different this time. And I know that the segment we're going to talk about right now is something that Jonah and Andrew are really passionate about, something they've been wanting to talk about. So we're finally going to get into it. So most of you who don't live under a rock probably know the beef going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. It's been going on for a while now. So we're going to talk about that. They both had albums come out over the last few months. They both are on 2 different sides of the argument, Jonah and Andrew. I'm just going to kind of stay out of it, let them do their thing. I'm going to ask them about the songs for each album, and then they're going to discuss, who's winning the battle right now. Is it Kendrick or Drake? So we're going to get into it. We're going to start off by going through each song between each album. We're going to start with GNX, which was Kendrick Lamar's album. That came out in late 2024, back in November. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just number off the songs in order. You guys are going to say hit or miss, and then we're going to go to Drake's album, go through each song, hit or miss. I'm going to tally it up. Drake does have more songs on his album. We'll work through that, but we're going to see who has more misses by the end of it, and then I'm also going to let them just kind of discuss why they think Drake's in the right or Drake's in the wrong. Is Kendrick leading this, and then we're going to have the people speak for it too. So I know these guys are really
I
passionate.
know the people are going to be on my side this week because this one is going to be a wash. It's not even close. This isn't even a conversation. You see this shirt? You see where we're rocking? OVO, stand up. Let's get it.
Yeah, I also do want to put this out there too. If anyone has knows anyone who's dealt with child predators or any of those worries, we're gonna leave a link below in the description. Look, we're allies. I consider myself an ally. Jonah, I don't know about him, but I'm here for you guys. If you guys want to talk, we're all ears around here. We're inclusive. We don't believe in pedophilia or any of those matters, but we'll get into that later.
You see, this is what I'm talking. This is the problem with you Kendrick fans. It's a
But
bunch
we're
of
allies. We're allies.
it's weird Kendrick fans and their weird narratives. I just care about the music. Like all this weird narratives. Stop it. Drop an
All right,
album.
well
Hit. Do something.
let's get into the music. We're gonna go. Which
I
one's
love
better?
that too.
All the conversation here is having. We'll save that for after. Let's go strictly. Which album is of better quality, and then you guys can discuss all of the other aspects going into all of this.
And no lying. Don't lie.
Hey, we don't
Yeah,
tell
we want full honesty, and then you guys can give kind of some background of what actually is going on with them, behind the music. Okay, but let's just start the songs. All right.
man. A wise man once said, "Tell no lies about me, and I won't tell no truths about you." Let's do this.
All right, so starting with Kendrick's album, GNX, the first song, Whacked Out Murals, hit or miss?
For me, that was like, I wouldn't say it was a hit. I don't think it was a miss. Classic intro. I'm gonna say it was a hiss.
It's gonna be a lot of. I wouldn't say that's a hit, but continue.
Stop it. Nah, it was an intro, classic intro song. I love the production in this album. It was more kind of just him getting at what he was about to talk into the album, how he was feeling. Um, to me, it wasn't anything crazy. I'll give it a hiss. I thought the production was really good. Um, but yeah, it was a hiss for me.
Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I like Whacked Out Murals. That's one of my favorite songs on the album. I like Whacked Out Murals. When he's rapping,
Okay.
funny voices like that. I like that song.
All right. So we'll kind of put this. Neither of you guys say miss for this one.
No, it's a good song.
Okay. All right. So we'll go now to Squabble Up.
Yep. Hit. Hit. Come on, dog. Call him Barry Bonds, bro. We getting hits on hits, baby. Come on. Jonah, you can't even lie about that either.
This
bro.
one, hey, you can't lie. The snippet was better than the actual song. When he dropped the snippet for Not Like Us, everyone thought this song was gonna be the song of the decade, and it was cool. So I'm okay with you saying it's a hit, but the snippet, it was underwhelming when we got the whole song.
Squabble Up was cool. That's
Cool. It was underwhelming. It was cool.
That's crazy. Nah, that's a hit.
Underwhelming. Does underwhelming get you a miss, Jonah?
I'll give it a hit.
Okay.
You were really pouring that one out, man.
Hey, some Drake fan, huh?
I know, seriously, bro.
All right.
I'm honest.
Luther.
Oh, please.
Luther, song of the year. Let's not get that twisted either. That's not even a hit. No, this is a grand slam, baby. Song of the year. I would love personally to hear a joint album with him and SZA. I think that would break the internet. I was just having a conversation with someone about that. But that's not even a hit. That's more than a hit. That's the biggest song out of both of these albums combined. Smash right there. Song of the year.
You think it's the best song between the two?
Absolutely. Not even close. Song of the year.
Okay, absolute overrated. This is one of those. This is the label push. This is SZA push. I couldn't tell you Kendrick's verse on that song. Overrated, overplayed, miss. I'm not a fan of that song.
Our first.
Miss.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
How is that song, Drew? How is that song still #1 months later? That song is not like that. You're not getting playing that song. Stop
it's song of the year, bro. You go anywhere. Everyone. Others singing that at the top of their lungs.
Sing it. What's the hook? I couldn't even tell you.
I'm not singing it. I don't get paid. I'm not a singer. I'm a podcaster, bro.
All right, so let's go through it. Let's go through the hit or miss a little quicker so we have time to really debate after we get through both because Drake's got a longer album. All right. So we got one miss on the board, right, Jonah?
No.
No. It's you each get your own hit or miss, and I'm tallying them all up together. So Drew, you get your own hit or miss. Jonah gets his own.
Okay, I'm just confirming that the #1 song in the world for the past 6 months was a miss. Okay, I got it.
Hey, you should know me by now, audience. You should know me by now. I don't care about numbers.
Just to confirm, if you both go miss on the same song, that would count as 2 misses. So that's how we're doing it. Okay, so I'm just tallying up the total. So we got 1 right now. Okay, Man at the Garden.
Keep it honest.
Keep it on. I thought that was personally. I think you would like that because he's rapping in that. That's kind of him like manifesting like all of the stuff that he worked for, and he's kind of seeing the fruits of his labor.
The fruits.
Bro, Man at the Garden, dog. You just getting some fruits at the garden. I'll say that's a hit. That's a hiss. Not a miss.
No, stop it, Vinny. No hiss. What is hit or miss, Drew?
Bro, I like that one.
I'm gonna hold on. Just for the polling purpose, I'm gonna have to agree with Jonah here. I need confirmed hit or miss from you.
All right.
From here on out.
All right, I'll go miss on that one, but that's not a bad miss by any stretch.
That's a swing and a miss. Get out of here. That song is trash. No one played that song. Get out of here. Next.
So you got a miss as well. All right, so we got 3 total. Okay. Hey Now.
Oh, hit for show. Are you kidding me? Bro, I'm telling you, dog, Freddie Freeman, Kike Hernandez in the playoffs come October. I mean, this guy's on fire right now. Hey Now, he's putting on LA rappers too. We'll get in that later. Hit. Not even debatable.
Miss.
4 on the board.
Chorus. Funny voice, Kendrick. That song is terrible. Who
I
are the?
thought you just said you like funny voice Kendrick though.
No, I don't like funny voice Kendrick. The first song, he wasn't making funny voice. This song, he's making that funny voice. He has a bunch of no name features. I couldn't tell you these people. Stop. That's a horrible song. Annoying.
That's what makes him great, bro. He's putting on his city. He's putting on all the rappers from his city under this song. He's getting them famous.
You don't want to talk about putting people on in a conversation versus Drake because we put half the name on,
including
SZA.
Stop it.
Okay, so we got a hit and a miss.
Mid.
We got a hit and a miss.
No, Drew said mid. Drew said miss.
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't. All right, so we got a miss for Jonah. So that makes
out the tequila, man. God.
Okay. Reincarnated.
I love the production in it. He's rapping in it too. I think it's a hit. I personally think it's a hit. But I would consider that one a hiss. So in this case, since we're being honest, I'll do miss.
Thank you.
I'll do as well.
That's a miss. I like the idea. Like, it's a really cool idea of a song, but he just didn't execute. Miss.
But like, I feel like also there's like a miss like that. That's not a bad, that's in and out. That's off the front of the rim. Like that's not an air ball. You know what I'm saying?
It was a good shot.
Yeah. Rimmed out a little bit, a little short, but
it's just not the guy you want with the ball in their hands taking it.
Like it's like Draymond Green. Anyways, keep it coming.
It's like Austin Reeves, just miss. Good shot.
I don't know, man. People are agreeing with the number 3 options there. TV off.
I don't even have to answer that one. We know that one. Stop it. You don't believe me? Look at the Super Bowl performance. Just tell me how many people were singing with that. Hit. Jonah, you can't even lie through your teeth and say that wasn't.
I'll say hit. It's a good song.
Dodger Blue.
Super hit, bro. That might be my personal favorite one, especially as a Dodger fan, as a guy who represents LA, who's proud to be from the city that we grew just up outside of. I know, Vinny, you're rocking with that song because we're big Dodger guys over here. We represent the West Side. We represent it well. I thought that has replay value, and it screams California. It screams you got your windows down, you're looking at palm trees, you're driving to Dodger Stadium. Hit.
Yeah, I think he just to like jump in. I think he made that at like the perfect time because like fans were still like on the high of the World Series win, and then that came out. I think he marketed that pretty good. What do you think, Jonah?
I'm not gonna lie, I like that song.
Yeah,
that's a good song. I like the vibe of it is just amazing. That's a good song.
Okay. Peekaboo.
You started first, Jonah. Come on.
Miss. Another annoying chorus. Peekaboo. Like, come on. What are we, 5? Are we 5 years old? Stop it, miss. Get out of here.
You sound so childish right now. That's obviously a hit. One of the biggest songs in the world to this day. I mean, the numbers speak for itself, and we don't even have to talk numbers. Like, it's just a great song. I mean, he's rapping, he's talking his talk, he's walking his walk. Hit. And I guarantee you ask 99% of our audience, they're gonna say it's a hit too.
I can't wait for the reaction on this one. Miss.
Heart Part 6.
That's a hit.
It's a hit. Good song.
He's rapping that like that's taken like that's kind of like vintage K-Dot rapping. Great sound. No funny voice like some of us have been complaining about. Hit for sure.
Yeah, that's the Kendrick we grew up on. Like that's like Good Kid, Mad City Kendrick. I like that song.
Yep.
GNX.
For me, that was a miss. I thought, bro, I feel so like I don't know. It's pulling me one way because I get why like he's having all these maybe not so mainstream artists, especially out from LA, on these songs. But I definitely was not a fan of their features on this song. I thought they were honestly all the features went 0 for 3. I think there's 3 features on it. I think they went.
There is, yeah.
The production was great as well. It just, yeah, bro. I'd be lying if I said I'm listening to that.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. It, from Kendrick Lamar, definitely one of the worst songs I've ever heard. That was terrible. The features were horrible. The beat was so fast, and like no one was rapping on beat. Like that was awful. Horrible. Miss. Airball.
All right, last one. That's an air ball.
Airball.
All right, last one. Gloria.
Hit for sure. I mean, bro, it's like, bro, we're talking about like Kobe and Shaq, 01, 02. This is Kendrick Lamar and SZA. They just don't make any misses. They're allergic to it. You ask them what a miss is, they couldn't tell you. Um, is that their third song on the album together? No, I think it's the second. Second, 2 for 2, like always. Also 30 I want to give a shout out to 30 for 30 as well. Another one of the Song of the Year candidates, in my opinion. You don't believe me? Just turn on the radio in LA. But that's a hit for sure.
That's a hit. I like that song more than Luther for sure. So it's a hit.
Okay.
Good song.
Okay. We will tally those up at the end. Let's move over to some sexy songs for you.
Let's get into
this came out.
music.
So this came
Day.
out. This came out Valentine's Day, 2025. So first song, CN Tower.
Hit.
That's a hit.
This is another classic Drake intro. Drake is the best at intros. Amazing song. Beautiful song.
So the no doubts we'll run through. If it's a no doubt hit, we'll just to speed it up a little bit. So 2 hits there. We'll go second, Mothballs.
This is a top 5 song on the album. I love Mothballs. Top 5. Hit. Hit.
You gotta word that. You gotta word that better. You gotta word that a little better.
You said that with your chest too. I think that's another one of my personal favorites too. I think it's probably gonna go down as one of the most underrated songs on the album, or at least it'll grow on people more. That's a hit for sure.
You do you love Mothballs as well, Drew?
I wouldn't word it like that. I would say I'm a big fan of the song.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I know it seems like Jonah loves Mothballs, but all right.
Classic Drake
fan. Yeah. All right. Something About You.
Another hit. This one I party on it? I think so. This is a hit. Yeah. I love it. This is top 5 too.
That's tricky. Top 5. I think it's a hit as well. And I'm actually not biased. I'll admit when songs are good. I'm not gonna be denying, great songs. I think this is another one. I think this is another hit for sure. Classic Drake and PND. I mean, that's a hit, bro. That's a hit.
All right.
Three right now.
Crying in Chanel.
Another hit. This song is so fire. It starts off slow, it builds into it, and then it's like a perfect TikTok song for the ladies when he's singing the Crying in Chanel part. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hit.
It's a classic Drake fan.
Yeah, this is the perfect song for TikTok for the ladies. I thought it was cool. I'm not gonna say it's a miss. I don't know about a hit either. Like, I wish we could do hiss because this is definitely giving me snake sound right now. Definitely a lot of hissing.
So let's for the sake of the game, if you have the doubt for a hiss, let's go miss with it, Drew. If it's giving you the doubt, we'll go miss. But that's another rimming out one. That's not a bad. It just seems for me, Andrew, when he likes the song, it seems it's a no-brainer for him. So I feel if he's on the hiss side of it, you guys agree or you don't think so?
Well,
nah, this dude said Luther wasn't a hit, bro. Stop it.
Luther's a miss. I'm not fence. I'm saying hit or miss.
Okay, so we'll leave that. We'll put a miss there on Crying in Chanel for Drew. Next one, Spider-Man, Superman.
This is my song. This song is Bro, I love this song so much. This is one of the best Drake songs. Like,
you gonna cry?
I know.
John gonna cry?
Don't blushing right now, bro.
With the
if you got tears, just wipe it on Drake.
It has the real her, like a Take Care sample. Beautiful song. Hit.
I'll give it a hit too. I think it's a good song. I I don't know all about, Jonah's gas in that. I think it's a good song. I think it's a hit. But you guys could obviously see too when we say like Drake has his own
Passionate.
fans, and their
Oh yeah.
passion. There's certain ways you could describe their fans. You could see the way he smiles and just looks in the air when he talks about Drake. Um, I'm not gonna go that distance, but I'll take a hit. I'll take a hit for sure.
Okay. Next one we got is Deeper.
Uh,
Jonah's blushing over here.
no, this song doesn't have Drake on it. It's just Party. It's cool.
Oh my God.
I'll go hiss. I get one hiss. You had a hiss, so I'll go hiss for this. It's cool.
I think I personally could not disagree or could not agree less, bro. That's a hit, bro. PND, that might be one of his top 5 songs he's ever made. I mean, the vocals, it could also, it's good, for like the album said, for sexy, for the sexy time. But it's also a club hit too. Like you can hear that in the club. Like everyone's jumping in that, everyone's screaming out their hearts. That's a hit for sure. And especially without Drake, like. Yeah, bro. Come on. Hit for sure.
Okay,
Not
so
twice,
I'm gonna
not
put
twice.
I'm gonna put one miss there just because Jonah had the doubt. So put another miss on the board there.
Not gonna be many.
Small town fame.
Top 5. The backstory, if you don't know, behind this song makes it even better. He's talking about a girl that's choosing between him and Dylan Brooks, and it just makes the song even better. Hit. Love that song.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna say anything crazy. Yeah, I think it was a hit too. That's probably one of the top 3 hardest songs on the album. He's just rapping in that. Especially I wouldn't be super proud to be chosen over Dylan Brooks, to be honest. I mean, if you've seen him shoot a ball, not not let's just say he's not the star of the team, not the greatest shooter in the world.
A lot of
But
misses with Dylan
a
Brooks.
lot of misses, yeah. A lot of misses, dog. Um, but no, that's one of my favorite ones as well. He's just rapping in that. I love Drake when he raps. Hit for sure.
Penny's Dilemma.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful interlude. This is an incredible interlude. Like this is the type of song like you play at like your wedding where everyone's cheersing. Beautiful interlude hits, especially
I
for
guarantee,
interlude.
I
Hit.
guarantee you nobody's playing this at their wedding.
It'll be at my wedding. You'll hear
The
this.
way, bro, the way you talk about these Drake songs, like
Drake's not even on this song.
no, I know, but I'm just saying, we probably got hundreds of girls like watching this video right now, wishing that their man talked about the way that you talk about these Drake songs, man. I think it's a beautiful song,
Thank you. How you gonna say all that and then you agree with me?
but I think it's a myth.
You think that's a miss? It's an interlude.
I think it's a hiss. I think it's a hiss, realistically.
Oh, that's a hit. It's an interlude.
That's it. That's my hiss for this album. That's my hiss.
All right. I'm putting a check on that one.
This
All
next
right, next
one
one.
right here is one of the greatest we've seen in R&B. Go ahead.
Brian Steele.
Hits. Drake rapping. It's a short song. He just gives you a verse, but just the rhyming, just the energy. Love this song. Hit.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this song as well. Especially, shouting out Young Thug's attorney. Shout out Brian Steele. We love the guy. He's a man of the streets, king of the streets. Drake was just rapping. He wasn't on that, that lovey-dovey Kiki, do you love me type beat. No, this is a hit for sure. Top 5 for me, I think. Yeah, no, this is a homer for sure.
Give me a hug.
Come on now. What you
Voice
asking me for?
cracking.
Next.
We can agree on that one.
Yeah.
Come
That's a
on.
good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Raining in Houston.
This is my favorite song on the album. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard it the first night I listened to it, I was like, this song is special. This is one of the this is probably a top 7 Drake R&B song ever. which is a crazy statement considering the R&B songs he has. It's the best song on the album. Smash, Grand Slam.
Not even close to the best song on the album. To me, this is kind of banking it in from the corner. I think it's a hit for sure. But
Banked it in. You banked it in.
bank it in, yeah, bank it in from the corner.
Still a
Uh,
good shot.
All right.
but yeah, I like it. It doesn't. I wouldn't say it's the greatest R&B song that Drake's ever freaking made, or
Absolutely.
anything close to it. I don't even think it's the best R&B song on his album. Um, but I'll give it off the backboard. A little smooch off the backboard.
All right. So both hits.
Yeah.
Lasers.
Miss. You can't stop it, Jody. You can't even name 3 words from that song. Stop it. That's a
Uh, I like this song. Um, it didn't seem like it needed to be on the album. It felt like an interlude, so I'll give it a miss. But
that's
I'll listen to it if it comes on. But I'm not rushing to this song.
that's a really nice way to put it, Jonah. That song is terrible. It might be the worst song out of both albums. Every time I hear it, personally, it's a skip. I think that might be the first like actual skip out of these 2 albums. Like, bro, nobody's saying put on lasers. Stop it. Skip for sure.
Oh, are you gonna say it's the worst? It's the worst song on the 2 albums?
No, not even close.
This is. I'm talking. I'm asking Andrew. I'm asking Andrew.
I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that.
With
All
hit,
right. So let's get into the next one. So we got a miss there.
yeah.
Swing and a miss.
All
Right.
right. All right.
Get
Meet your
ripped out.
Padre.
Meet your Padre.
You better not lie about this either, Jonah.
I'm gonna say this. For what it's meant to be and the setting it's meant to be, hit. This goes off in the Spanish nightclubs. They be ringing the song like there's no tomorrow. I love this song. It's such a vibe. It makes you move your hips. This is a hit.
I love
I
this.
bet you are moving your hips, Jonah. I bet you are moving your
This is a
hips.
hit.
Nah, okay. So when I said get back to me on that, this is by far the worst song out of both albums. Drake, I'm sorry, I love you, bro, but you really got to give it up with these Spanish songs, dog. It's not meant for you. I like Island Drake. I like Caribbean Drake. Um, bro, please for the people, man, give it up. I also thought the features were horrendous. This might be the worst. And don't get me wrong, I love the Latino community. I like what he tried to do for the community, but I think this is more disrespectful to the Latino community than anything, to be honest. I mean, the guy sounds terrible. I think I have a better Spanish accent than he does, and I got blonde hair. But no, absolute swing and a miss. Absolute swing and a miss. Worst song out of both of these albums. Now, this might even be one of the worst songs I've ever heard Drake put out.
Stop it. This song was not that bad. It got you moving your hips. You wasn't moving your hips on it.
Absolutely. I was moving my fingers to press skip. That's what I was doing.
All right. Nokia.
Hit.
Yeah.
One of the songs of the last decade. Just undeniable. As soon as you hear the beat, talking about moving your hips, the back-to-back songs where you're moving your hips nonstop. This is a anthem. We're gonna be playing this song in 30 years. This is a hit.
All right. Next one. Drew, hit.
Yeah, that's for sure. Every time you go to a club, every time there's gonna be some tequila around, anything like that, Nokia is gonna be on. Yeah, hit for sure.
All right. Next one. Die Trying.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Top 3 on the album. It has such a happy vibe on it. Like you cannot be in a good mood and you hear this song, come on, you just start smiling. A beautiful song, beautiful hook. Party Next Door did his thing on that hook. This is a great song. Hits.
Nah, I think this is my favorite song on the album personally. He really went off. He really did his thing for the white girls too in this one. Shout out all of them. He taps in a little bit of the country, like indie vibes a little bit. I've never heard this version of Drake before. I remember the first time I put this on, I like instantly just like was looking all over. I'm like, is this Drake, bro? Like, who is this? But yeah, hit for sure. Indie Drake, I love it. I want to hear more of it. It's good vibes, bro. It takes me to Malibu for some reason.
All right, next one. Somebody Loves Me.
This is probably the #1 song on TikTok. Uh, every girl you know is posting to this song. Undeniable anthem hit. This is gonna be one of them songs in a couple years that got another billion song Drake song. So this is a hit for sure.
Yeah, and I do want to bring this up too. Let's remember when at the beginning of this segment when we were talking about numbers and Jonah said, I don't look at numbers. I don't base our my opinions about numbers. Let's keep that in mind. Because that's the first thing he does bring up with Drake. But no, this I love this song. I scream, pour my heart and lungs out to this one. This one, yeah, you got a shorty next to you. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be good. This is one where he really taps into your heartstrings.
Absolutely.
Hit.
All right, next one. Celibacy.
Uh, how do I feel about this song? I'm not gonna lie, it's a miss for me. It's just kind of weird what he's singing about. The content is kind of weird. You could kind of tell by the title of it that he was gonna be on kind of a different vibe. This song not for me, so probably a miss.
Two misses. Let's just move on. Two misses and move on.
Horrendous song. Absolute miss.
All right. OMW. We'll just move on. OMW.
Oh my God, this top three. The backstory of this song being secretly about Kim Kardashian and him dissing Kanye throughout just makes it even better. I love Petty Drake. I love his energy on this song. Hit. Crazy song.
No, I am a big fan of this song too. It's funny because like every time this song I feel like is meant for the car ride. Like, bro, when I hear On My Way, yeah, we are on our way, baby. Like both of them did their thing. This is a hit for sure. Big fan of this one. Um, Great elite car music for sure. On my way.
All right. Two hits. Next one. Glorious. Ooh, that looks like two misses.
All I'm gonna say is miss.
Miss,
All
come
right.
on, bro. You can't,
All
you can't try to
Two misses.
sound like you're Drake. You're one of the greatest rappers ever. You can't try to steal Ice Spice's flow, bro.
Ice Spice.
Nah, stop it. Super miss.
All right. All right. Two misses there. We got two more songs. Next one. When He's Gone.
Oh my God, this is my song. Top 5. Another undeniable hit. This is one of the best songs on the album. Hit.
Honestly, this song didn't do a lot for me, to be honest.
Stop it. Stop it.
This song didn't move me a lot, to be honest. I could go without it personally. It's also in that hiss range for me. It really just doesn't do anything for me. This is definitely bottom feeder of the album for sure for me. I'll go miss.
All right. And last one.
Good miss though.
Greedy.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful outro to an album. It's just like when you hear it, like a tear starts to load in your eye. That's how beautiful it is. Your mind just drifts. Like you feel like you're just on some island, just vibing. Beautiful song. Love this.
I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I got a tear in my eye when I was on an island. But I do enjoy this song. I think it is a beautiful song. I don't think it's like top 5 or anything. I don't think it's probably in the top half of the album, but I did really enjoy the album. I'll give it a hit.
All right. So I want to go ahead and tally these up. Let's keep in mind Drake did have 9 more songs on the album than Kendrick did on his, but let's tally it up. So on Kendrick, the hit or miss, and keep in mind this is just total. So if there's 2 misses on one song, that is 2 misses. So I'm just tallying up the total, and we have 9 misses on Kendrick's album, and 12 songs. Each of you had 2 opportunities, so there could have been potentially 24 misses, and there was 9. Okay. So let's keep the ratio. Let's keep that in mind. I think that's going to be the easier way to kind of balance this out. Okay. So there's 24 potential misses. There was 9 total. Okay. Now, if I am correct, there is 21 songs on Some Sexy Songs for You by Drake, which means that would be 42 opportunities for a miss. And there was 10 misses on that album.
Poked it.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
go, baby.
Let's keep in mind. Let's keep in mind we're not biased over here. At least one of us isn't. Um, like saying squabble up and Luther's a miss is just outrageous. So let's keep that in mind. I do. I would love to hear Jonah's like overall ratings, like for the album, just the album itself for both of them, and then
out of 10.
mine. Yeah.
For GNX,
Mhm.
this is the second worst Kendrick album behind Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale was awful. So this is probably the second worst Drake Kendrick album. So out of 10 for him, I would give it a 5. 5 out of 10.
You think this album was worse than Untitled Unmastered?
I don't even listen to that, to be honest. How you put out an album with no track names? Like
No, but I'm just saying. I generally don't think that you think this was worse than that one.
I don't count that one. I'm counting Damn, Mr. Morale, Good Kid, and GNX, so 4. And this is probably second worst.
Okay, those
All
are
right, so
all
5 out of 10. What about Drake? What about Some Sexy Songs for You?
This one? Oh,
Yeah.
for me, it's impossible to crack top 3 Drake album just because Take Care, Views, and Nothing Was the Same are arguably 3 of the best albums of all time. So this was maybe 5.
What's your rating out of 10?
5 out of 10. Oh, this is an 8. 8.4. 8.4 out of 10.
What are his last 3 albums?
He dropped this one. He dropped For All the Dogs
For the dogs.
and Her Loss with 21.
Is
I
it
like
the
this
best
one
out of
better.
those 3?
This is
Is
better
it, is it
than, yeah, out of his past 3 albums, I think this is the best one.
I think For All the Dogs is close to this one. Another really good album in my opinion. Her Loss and didn't really age, kind of aged like milk a little bit. But for this album, I'm gonna. This is tough because I really enjoy both of these albums. To be honest, I'm not out here denying greatness like Jonah is. I thought these were both great albums. I thought they both kind of were pushed a little bit to their limits. Like both of these albums meant a lot to each other with all the stuff going on, with all the beef. Um, I'll give I'll give some sexy songs. I'll give that a I'll give it an 8.3. I'll give it an 8.3.
So you're giving it a higher rating than Jonah?
No, I said 8.4.
You did? I thought you said 8
I
flat.
really like this album. I thought it was a great album.
It's a classic.
I think the misses were there were more of air balls on this album compared to Kendrick's. Like Meet Your don't get me started about that song. That's the worst song I've ever heard.
So what about give me your rating on GNX, and then I got a question for both of you guys.
GNX, I'll give that I would say, and keep in mind too, this what makes Kendrick's music much different than Drake's is there's a lot more than just the surface level hits, all of this, like yeah, keep waving your head, Jonah. Keep rubbing those shoulders. This is exactly what Drake fans don't want to hear, but they need to hear, because not everything's about just, who can make some bars that the common person can comprehend and understand, right? So with that being said, I'm giving K Dots. I'm giving that an 8.7.
Oh my, stop it.
8.7.
Oh,
With all of the song, with all of his hits weren't just hits, bro. We're slamming it and we're breaking the backboard, the glasses all over the hardwood, stop the game, like postpone it. I mean, bro, Luther, Song of the Year, not even close. It's not close. Don't give me that look, Jonah. And you said that was a
It's the
um and I love how he's putting on all of these LA artists who are underground. I'm not saying they did great on the album, but like that's part of why a lot of people resonate with Kendrick. Um, us real Los Angelonians. I don't even know what you say. Us people from LA, we really respect that, or at least the people who put on for the city, try to represent. Unlike that guy, yeah. This is a great album in my opinion. It had a lot of hits, a lot of replay value, which people were asking for. Him rapping, and it also had the R&B hits. So. Yeah, I like that. And his last album, Meet the Morale, I thought that was a horrendous album, to be honest. I get I get why, like, it was a deep, it felt more of like a him just ranting and venting about what was going on in his life and why he disappeared. But I genuinely thought it had very little or minimal replay value. I don't think anyone really listens to those songs anymore. But yeah, give me GNX for sure. I like K Dot. LA, stand up, baby.
All right.
Hold on,
So
wait, where are you at, Vinny? Who do you lean? Do you lean to the Kendrick? Uh, you gotta have a dictionary with you to understand his music, or do you lean to the Drake, good vibes, great energy, feel good type music?
just because I'm not as invested in the music, I think, as you guys are, it's probably leaning more towards the good vibes. Just because, but that
Yeah,
doesn't that, but that's just because I'm a casual.
yeah.
But that doesn't.
There's
So I don't
nothing
think
wrong.
I don't think I can be kind of put in that situation.
And like I said, I want to
Um,
make this clear. There's nothing wrong with just casually listening. I mean, not all bars are supposed to be understood by, you don't have to be a huge rap fan to listen to these type of albums, these type of songs. And it's definitely easier, I think. Drake's audience is more of a casual. We're not really worried about lyrics. We're kind of just worried more about what looks good on a TikTok, all of that good
I'm
stuff.
not saying whoa. I'm not saying that's where I'm at. I'm just,
No. But I'm
but
just saying there's a vast difference between the types of music they make. I think Drake is appeals more to the casual listeners.
That
and
that
I wouldn't disagree with that.
that argument makes me so mad. And
The why'd you ask? Why'd you ask me?
no,
I was leaving it up to you guys. I was leaving it up to
what
the real dudes here.
what Drew just said is my number one issue with the way Drake fans are looked at and the way that Kendrick fans think they're holier than thou with their music because they think it's so deep. Where Kendrick could say the most surface level bar, and his fans are gonna research everything and make it deeper than it is. Whereas someone like Drake, who I think Drake is a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar as well. I think people don't look at him as a lyricist because he can sing. But when Drake puts pen to paper and raps, and Kendrick does it as well, Drake is coming out the booth with a better verse every time.
Hold up. Let's just rewind a little bit. What Shakespeare line did you just say 60 seconds ago?
Holier than thou. What does that even
Bro,
mean, man?
This is Romeo and Juliet. What are you saying?
bro, that's how Kendrick fans act. They act like they're so much better and smarter than everyone because Kendrick is this savior when I don't think he's donated more money than Drake. I would highly doubt that to a different
All right,
group.
so let's get back into the real
Yeah.
beef.
I can
So
talk about it forever.
all right, let's get back into it. Just one question, then we can move on. The Super Bowl halftime performance. It was very famous. Kendrick Lamar. It was definitely targeted toward Drake, no question.
Like
I
everything.
want, yeah, and I just want you guys to go into it. What with that? Who's winning the battle between the beef? Obviously, we're talking about the albums, but did the Super Bowl performance change your guys' mind on anything? Did it further prove something? Or is it just this has dragged on a long time and it doesn't need to keep going? It was just a good halftime performance. I'll start with Drew.
Yeah, me personally, I don't even think it's a debate anymore who won the beef. If we're just being real, if we're listening to the people, if we're letting the people
Did that put it to bed? Did that put it to bed?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of just it's a fly on the ground. We're just stomping on it, getting it nice and dirty. We're getting it out the way. I think the people already decided. Kendrick won, and I think that performance really represents like who Kendrick is as an artist. It's not going to be the fun, get your pom poms out, Drake music. It was a deep meaning to it, and obviously, a lot of Drake fans probably didn't appreciate it. But there was a lot of symbolism.
Jonah didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, no, he didn't. That was the last. That was the knife in the chest, whatever you want, dagger in the heart to the beef. But there was a lot of symbolism in that performance, basically proving what guys like Drake or like Jonah and other Drake fans say. Oh, blah 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 blah. Like you're not fun enough. All of this, but at the end of the day, there's so much symbolism behind that. Talking about it with all the people making the American flag standing, especially how our country started. Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam, incredible. Come on, dog. That was crazy. But overall, I thought the performance really just was a big FU to Drake. It was a great performance too. I don't think it had as much value, like as far as entertainment wise, compared to like a Riri or the weekend. But that's also not what he was intending to do. And in a sense, by critiquing it that it wasn't the most entertaining performance, you're proving the exact point of a lot of the symbolism that was in his performance. I thought it was
All
a
right,
great.
Jonah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, I thought it was a great performance. At the end of the day, hey man, Drake, as far as I know, he's got a losing record in rap beefs. I think he should sit these next ones out. I mean, he's 1-2, Jonah. You know this too. You can't even say with a straight face that he won this. You're gonna say, "Oh, the people won this," but that's at the end of the day, you just being a sore loser and admitting that, and not admitting that Kendrick won the battle.
All right. That's enough. That's enough.
All right.
So,
Closing thoughts here, Jonah.
so just a whole summary of the beef briefly, and then about the performance. I think Kendrick, I think Kanye said it best. People were excited about the elimination of Drake. When someone is the best looking,
Yo, you guys hear this guy, bro? I don't know if it's a fan or
Pause.
are you a Drake fan or a Drake groupie, bro? What the?
bro,
Yo, you guys hear this stuff that's coming out of this dude's mouth?
bro. Okay,
What does the best looking have to do with a rap
It's
beef
crazy,
battle?
man.
bro. Like if someone is the best, bro, what can he not do? He's the best looking, most famous.
You're doubling down with it. That's all you're saying right now.
And toes down on it too.
To the people out there, Jonah clearly says he's the most handsome rapper in the game right now.
Yep.
Okay. Is that really your argument here?
My argument is like if someone is viewed as having everything, like he sells the most.
Don't you say that. Don't start with that again. We get it. He's handsome. Go to the next one, okay?
Bro, he has like everything. So for 15 years, like more than half of our lives, the biggest rapper in the world has been the same light-skinned dude who's viewed as soft from Canada. So obviously people are going to get tired of it. And Kendrick had a perfect opportunity and a great strategy to take him down. So I'll definitely give him the edge in the battle. But I think the Super Bowl was just like, it was so Kendrick. It was not entertaining. You have to watch it 10 times and research things to find meaning behind it. The biggest most anticipated thing was him saying Drake's name on live television. And outside of that, like probably the most boring Super Bowl show I've ever watched live. Yeah, I can't think of a more boring performance. Rihanna, Dr. Dre, The Weeknd, way better performances. This was very forgettable.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have we'll see what the people think with Drake and Kendrick. It's a very popular topic. I think it's still ongoing. Well, all in all, though, both good albums, solid albums.
Both good albums.
Okay. So we can move on from this. If you guys haven't noticed, this episode is surrounded around, beef between people. The first one was Kendrick and Drake. The next one that we're going to talk about is currently happening right now. And it really shouldn't be. But one side of the party seems to just being going on a world tour with this one. And this is a beef going on between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is an NBA analyst for ESPN. LeBron James, NBA superstar for the Lakers. So, Jonah, kind of give us a background of what's been going on with LeBron and Stephen A.
Yeah,
For the people.
If you don't follow like morning talk shows like ESPN First Take, Stephen A. Smith is probably the most famous talking head in all of sports, known for just being the loudest, most emphatic, most dramatic guy in media. Talks about how tough he is and all these kinds of things that are just ego driven. And he's been talking about LeBron's son, Bronny, who was a second round draft pick in the NBA. And second round picks are never talked about. But for whatever reason, Stephen A has felt the need to kind of bash LeBron for putting Bronny in a situation, whether he's playing with the G League or playing up with the Lakers. Stephen A just had a lot of negative things to say about him. And the thing that I think really upset LeBron, he went on live TV, looked in the camera and said, LeBron, I'm pleading with you as a father. Stop doing this. And I think that crossed the line because that's not sports. That's personal. You're questioning the man as a father. So fast forward, Stephen A is courtside at the Lakers game. It's between about to enter the fourth quarter, so there's a break. LeBron sees Stephen A courtside, approaches him, and someone in the stands was recording and caught LeBron face to face with Stephen A, pressing him. The lip readers out there were seeing him saying basically, keep my son's name out your mouth. And about 10, 15 seconds, LeBron's right in his face. And Stephen A just looks like a ghost, just shook, just looking at the man. Bron is 6'9", 260, angry. Bron doesn't even confront NBA players like that. I've never seen him get in someone's face like that. But he did to Stephen A, and Stephen A had absolutely nothing to say, and Bron walks away.
Okay, so we'll leave it there for that. I have a few things I want to show you guys. So just to add on a little bit of that, Stephen A. Smith tried to portray that he didn't want to talk about it. He felt like it didn't need to be addressed. But because the video went viral, and by the way, you guys can just look up the video. It's everywhere. It's pretty easy to find. And then Stephen A. Smith felt like it was necessary for him to talk about. And he went on over this was about 2 weeks ago. The entire week, it's still ongoing. He's been going on podcasts, other talk shows, and has just been talking about it and talking about it, talking about it. When at first he felt like it was not necessary to talk about. And I'm going to play you a few clips of Stephen A. Smith on two different occasions talking about the incident. And then I'm going to also give you, in between those, a video of LeBron James finally addressing it for the first time. So the first one is Stephen A. Smith on his own podcast, The Stephen A. Smith Show. This one's a very short clip, and I'm going to try to play it in the audio for you guys. You guys just take a listen. I'm going to play a couple clips, and then we'll talk about it all at the end, okay? So just give this a few minutes.
that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
Play one more time. One more time.
That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
Okay. Next one. Fast forward. This is just the other day. LeBron James, just for some context, went on the Pat McAfee show, and this is the first time that he addressed this to the public. He went on his social media around the same time and posted something in regards to Stephen A. Smith saying he would have swung at him, and that'll be covered in the third video I show. But this is LeBron James talking about it in regards to Stephen A. Smith now over the last week and a half, just going on several talk shows. He was on his First Take show, the Stephen A. Smith show. He went on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. So he's been talking about this nonstop, okay?
Facts. Like, seriously. Yep.
Which leads, obviously, to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're watching it. Yeah. We're all seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing it as well.
So he literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
You would be not to talk about
it. Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you can address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
All right, we can end it there on that one. And then the final clip is the next day on First Take. Stephen A. Smith is talking about this, and also around the same time, LeBron on his Instagram put a video out responding to Stephen A. Smith when he said he would swing at LeBron if he touched him. He posted a video of Stephen A. Smith practicing boxing about 10 years ago. You guys should go take a look at it. It's a pretty funny video. And LeBron's kind of just mocking him about, if you're going to swing on me, you better do it better than that. So this is the final clip I'll show you guys, and then we can talk about it.
In my book, that belongs. He puts out some page about me boxing and all of this other stuff from a decade ago with 2 torn rotator cuffs. Fine, no problem. It's very, very embarrassing video. I'll be the first to say and all that stuff, even though I like it to be left up there. Because if people think I want to throw hands like that, that's how I throw hands. Knock yourself out. I'm good with it. I know that the man I am today is not the man that I was a decade ago, physically or beyond. I can tell you that. So we get that out the way. Why do I bring that up? Because that's how petty you've become. You're LeBron James. You that butthurt over the things that I'm saying, that you would post that video. When has LeBron James ever done something like that? But suddenly you're doing that as it pertains to me. This man is in his feelings. I wonder why. Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT? Because I'll never believe you're the GOAT? Because I have you number 2 at all times? Do I have to have ESPN and First Take put up the ticker tape right now and say, yo, could you put that up there, please? Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. But it ain't enough, because one thing matters to him and one thing only, and that's him being recognized as the greatest of all times. Well, you're not in my book.
Okay, so those are 3 clips I had to show you. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it was because it seemed like LeBron was trying to get his message across that Stephen A wasn't getting the point, right? And that this was him trying to protect not only his family and also just protect the players, in the sense that the media kind of attacks players sometimes when it's kind of off basketball. And there's a whole criticism going around that the coverage of NBA basketball is not positive. And yet Stephen A. Smith the very next day goes on that LeBron is upset because he's not the greatest of all time in Stephen A. Smith's eyes. So am I wrong thinking that that's kind of what is going on here? I want your guys' perspective on it.
Go ahead, Drew.
Jonah.
So I mean, I think LeBron's issue is that Stephen A, like you could tell he's like personally invested in the situation, and his ego is kind of driving this when he's talking about I would put hands on him. Like LeBron James might be the greatest athlete of all time, and you're gonna put hands on him.
Well,
Like,
I think what he was trying to say was just to clarify. I think what he was trying to say was if LeBron tried to put a hand on him, he would have returned and swung at him.
yeah, but
So
why?
even if LeBron grabbed his wrist, he would have threw hands. I
But-
think that's what he was trying to say.
But it wouldn't even come to that. LeBron is not that type of person. LeBron's been the biggest athlete in the world since he was 18 years old. Never been in an on-court fight, anything like that. He's not going to put hands on you. He's just telling you, keep my son's name out your mouth in a way that's personal and just cover the sport. You're trying to implement how I should parent my child, and that's not your job. And I think LeBron tried to draw that line, and Stephen A did miss the message completely.
So Drew, I got a question for Drew. Okay, and then I'll let you have the floor. Was it necessary? Because the first clip I showed of Stephen A making the comment about swinging on LeBron, that took place over a week after the incident happened. It's been dragged on this far, and LeBron was yet to even make a public announcement about it at all. That was the first that comment right there was what drew LeBron to finally make an announcement on it with his Instagram post of him boxing. So was it even necessary that Stephen A had to a week later keep it relevant? Was this him just trying to get clicks, or is this something that he feels is like actually needs to be talked about, and it's that important to the sports world?
I mean, I'll tell you who it was necessary for. Stephen A. Smith and Stephen A. Smith only. I mean, at the end of the day, the only person who benefits from this whole beef debacle, whatever you want to call it, is Stephen A. And I think a lot of people are kind of realizing and like waking up to his shenanigans and why he would do something like this. I mean, as guys, basically the two really things that you don't bring up about another man, I think we all can agree, family, especially as a father, and then another man's pockets, right? I mean, if you bring up any of those or you try to slight someone in that type of way, it's automatically going to be seen as disrespect from us. But I do think that LeBron, he does. I mean, he's right in every sense, in my opinion. I mean, Stephen A is proving exactly what LeBron was saying by just dragging this out. He brought up LeBron's kid multiple times, and it seems like he's doing it out. He's approaching it in a way that doesn't have anything to do with basketball. Bronny's actually been pretty on the court. He's been pretty for a 55th pick. He's been damn good. I think Nick Wright he was talking about this earlier a couple of days ago, and he was ranked just about 55th for the rookie class in just about every category. Like, there's no need to talk about this, but when you bring up fathering, when you bring up how you are failing a kid as a father, when in my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes, it's the exact opposite. I think LeBron's done a great job. I think growing up with that name and that spotlight for his whole life, LeBron's done a great job of being his dad. I just think it's just totally overblown and blown out of water by Stephen A. And the only one who benefits from it is Stephen A. So
I got 2 comments on that, more like questions. First one is, if Stephen A approached this as he didn't bring anything up in regards to LeBron as a father for the situation, and he strictly just had his opinion on Bronny's play and felt that he was not ready. That's his opinion. He's not ready to be in the NBA. He needs to be in the G League. The Lakers as an organization, because he said this right after the Philly game when Bronny struggled. And if he said as an organization, he's not ready yet and they should keep him in the G League to develop, hopefully then he can, in time, be ready for the NBA. And he has made comments like that. But if he strictly kept that all the time, because he sometimes says it and then other times, like you said, he brings it to an whole other aspect about being a father to LeBron, rather than just strictly talking basketball. If he just kept it like that every single time that he brought up Bronny James, would this even have been a thing? Would LeBron have ever got out of his seat in the huddle and walked over to Stephen A?
absolutely not. I mean, LeBron has been the most criticized athlete probably of all time. I mean, this is like the first generation of social media too, and guys like Stephen A, Skip Bayless, he's had to grow up with them his whole entire career. We're talking about generational haters of LeBron. And he's never, when they keep it about basketball, which they have for a good amount of time of his career up until now, I mean, he doesn't care. He hasn't had any public remarks like this in his whole entire career. But when you start bringing up being a dad, when you start bringing up might not being the best dad, this is what sparks this whole debate. And it's sad because the only one who does benefit from this is Stephen A. But I think this is an example of just a guy like a guy that's in media who covers athletes, who covers stars, who should be the main topic, who are the biggest stars in the world. I think this is a pure case of a guy who thinks he's trying to become bigger than the guys he's covering, which will never happen at the end of the day. Because if LeBron James is not on the court, if all those guys aren't on the court, Stephen A doesn't have a job.
Yeah, this has gotten so out of hand that Stephen A and Skip Bayless, after not being on the same show for 10 years, hopped on Skip Bayless' podcast together and had to talk about this. That's when it's like, okay, like this is really getting dragged on that these two are back together on a show.
Something I will say in this whole scenario, I've gained a lot of respect for Skip Bayless. And the reason is Skip has been the biggest LeBron hater since LeBron was in high school. Like Skip has made a name on hating LeBron. But the reason LeBron has never addressed Skip is because Skip talks about basketball. Like you can agree with his takes, agree with the nicknames, disagree, whatever. But Skip does not cross that line. And
He doesn't make it personal.
I think that's one of the reasons that he's become who he is because he doesn't go off the court. He'll just talk about basketball. And I think LeBron, to some degree, respects that more than Stephen A, who it seems is ego-driven and is personal.
I
But
mean,
let's not get it twisted. Skip Bayless he might keep it basketball, but he's got some bad takes. So let's just keep that. Let's make that clear.
absolutely. I would even go, he has some horrendous things. But at the end of the day, the guy keeps it basketball, and that's what it should be. At the end of the day, we're not in any position to comment about someone being a good dad or someone not being a good dad. We cover sports. We don't cover fatherhood. We don't cover any of that. We like at the end of the day, the job is to talk about how their performance is on the court. And it's unfortunately it's gone to a point where it's gone away from that. And Stephen A is reaping the benefits. But yeah, I agree with Jonah. Shout out Skip Bayless. He keeps it real. He keeps it on the court.
So a question for you guys. So does Stephen A actually, in his right mind, think that LeBron feels this type of way and he's so defensive over this strictly because Stephen A has him number 2 on his all-time list? Does Stephen A actually believe that, or is Stephen A just trying to justify it to keep this thing rolling because people are going to tune in and watch it. Like, where is Steve? Like, is Stephen A strictly doing this for his show? Like, he knows his strategy, or is he actually thinking like no, I am so powerful that my platform is so big, and because I think LeBron James is the number 2 on my all-time list, it drives LeBron so crazy that he's going to confront me deep down. That's the reason why this is happening.
So I think Stephen A truly believes that his opinion affects LeBron's mindset. I think Stephen A really thinks that like what I say is like law. I think he's that much of an ego-driven person where he truly thinks LeBron doesn't like him just because his opinion on basketball. Whereas I think LeBron has shown over his 20 plus years in the career, he doesn't care about where you have him. I think he just plays, and as long as you cover the game in a fair way that's not personal, I don't think he has any issue with that.
I think it might be a little bit of both. I do want to say before I give my opinion, Stephen A in his own right has changed the game of sports media in the way that the game is covered. So, respect and props to him. He is probably the face of sports journalism right now, for the better, for the best, or for the worse. I do think his ego has been inflated incredibly by just LeBron responding to this and kind of making this a thing. I think that definitely tooted Stephen A's horn a little bit for sure. That look for Jonah.
Nothing.
Your vocabulary there.
Hey, I know you're not talking about best looking anyway.
We should do a segment on that.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I do think part of it is because of the ego, and it's been inflated because he has been the number 1 sports journalist, or most popular, I should say. But also it's definitely just to keep this running, man. I mean, LeBron in that clip with McAfee, he brought up Brian Windhorst too, and Windhorst could have made a big deal about this too. I mean, Windhorst has been with quote, however you want to say, I would say with LeBron. He's been covering LeBron since they were in high school. LeBron kind of he threw his name out there too. You could call it disrespect, whatever you want, but Windhorst stood his ground. He said, "Hey, man, he could have went I feel like he could have went 2 ways with this. The Stephen A way, take offense to it, make this a bigger deal than what it had to be, or the Windhorst way." And he's like, LeBron has his feelings. He could say whatever he wants about me. That still doesn't change the fact of what I think of him, how long I've covered him. And Windhorst hasn't said anything personal about LeBron. So I do think more in a sense that it's just Stephen A trying to take this world tour grand finale lap than anything. But I think it's a product of just his ego just being so big that LeBron even went out of his way to do that.
So I want to tackle this a little more in regards to just the sports media as a whole, how this kind of I think it's putting like a spotlight on this, but I think the sports media as a whole sometimes goes overboard. Sometimes when it comes to covering sports, they make it personal. And I want to give a quote from Michael Wilbon, who is a colleague of Stephen A. Smith. They cover the NBA together. They do the pregame show for the NBA Finals. And it says, Michael Wilbon says all the Bronny talk on ESPN is just for clicks and refuses to discuss him the way other shows do. And here's the quote. "I have a 17-year-old son, so this matters to me. I'm sensitive to it. I'd do anything for my kid, and I would hug LeBron for what he did for his kid. There were shows that talked about Bronny every day. You know what shows I'm talking about. I don't care if my bosses get mad. They would try to get Tony and me to talk about it. No, we were not going to do it. They talked about him more than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That's pondering. It's all pondering. Let me be clear. Our business is a piece of shit a lot of days." What does he mean by that? What's the last sentence mean by that? because he's not, I don't think, just talking about the Stephen. This is what sparked the quote, but I don't think he's just talking about Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James when he said that.
No, unfortunately, I mean, Wilbon's got a great point. I think the industry right now has lost a lot of respectability slash credibility to what it's supposed to be. It should be just analyzing, critiquing, complimenting sports athletes and everything in between. But unfortunately, that doesn't get you the most clicks or most views now these days. I think a lot of that has been the product of guys like Stephen A, who what to attest what Jonah said earlier, are usually the loudest, are usually saying the most personal stuff because that's what's going to be on the headlines of ESPN. That's what's going to be on the headlines of Sports Center, of Bleacher Report, all that stuff. So I do think um, the narrative and just how we discuss athletes and sports definitely needs to change. I hope that this example of it kind of puts a spotlight on that because it has gone too personal now, and that is unfortunately what gets the most views in this in basically a popularity contest between sports networks. And yeah, I think Wilbon hit on the nail. It's not a great environment right now. The industry, as far as credibility wise, I don't think it's at its highest, and I think it's due to what Stephen A, the Skip Baylesses kind of made a big name for themselves by doing, which sucks because those are also two of like the godfathers of sports journalism nowadays.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of torn on the way that basketball specifically is covered because on one hand, you have a guy like when JJ Redick was in media before he was coaching, he was very critical of other media heads and the way they covered it. And he kind of tried to change it where talking more X's and O's and him and LeBron, even their podcasts. So I think there's a place for that. But then again, I also think basketball talk is the most popular out of all the sports. And I think it's also because the culture of basketball, like basketball, specifically the NBA, is very narrative driven and drama driven. So when players request trades, that's a popping time for sports media. When it like winning games isn't what drives the ratings. It's the trades, it's drama like Jimmy Butler, Miami. So I think the media covers it the way that the players kind of lead it. So I don't think it's completely the media's fault. I think the players do have um, a piece of the blame, and a part of that is also with load management. And I think that fans and media are kind of tired of the way superstars are entitled in the NBA, where I think it's a little different in the NFL. I don't think there's that same entitlement, and I think that's why the NFL is covered a little different than the NBA.
So Jonah, do you think that the NBA is the most popular because of the way that it's covered? That if it was celebrated more like other sports, I feel like it's the one that the media kind of tears down the most. I feel like it's critiqued the most on a negative aspect. But do you think that's like because people are saying that that's what's driving the ratings down? But it sounds like what you're saying, like this is what's bringing like an outside audience, like the drama of it is actually what's bringing in other people.
Yeah, I think that the drama is what sells it. Like when Luca got traded to the Lakers,
Yeah.
ratings spiked. And I think that that excitement is in part of the media, the way they cover it and the way they talk about these trades and the way they kind of generalize it so that the common basketball fan can see Luca LeBron and just think of great offense. They're not thinking about what sets the Lakers are going to run. Because I think that that kind of alienates the fans. So I think the general conversations can be good, but there's also some bad parts as well.
But like objectively, like looking at the sports journalism world, is that the best way
to do it.
to make your league or whatever you're covering the most popular, the most interesting? And I get it, the NBA is essentially like a reality TV show
Yeah,
now.
drama
By,
sells.
by far the most dramatic league in the world. It's like everyone knows these guys when they haven't even seen them in person. But I agree with what you said, like 100% drama sells. Um, and that also brings out the most passion, I feel like, in a lot of these shows. But I don't, I wish it wasn't like, I wish there was another way to cover, especially like the NBA, because it's just people just, excuse my French, but just shitting on these guys and then hoping it gets the most clicks. Like, I don't want that to be the reason why the NBA is the most dramatic or viewed league in the world.
Yeah,
So
and that's why I'm torn because like you have two extremes where Stephen A is clearly taking it too far with the LeBron situation, but then you've also seen over the years when he doesn't go that far, and he's produced some of the most entertaining television. You look at NBA on TNT, they're not breaking down X's and O's. It's Charles, it's Shaq. They don't even know half the players. They're critical of it, but it's entertaining, and I think that also helps. So there's good and bad of the way it's covered.
yeah, they don't know who Denny Avdia is.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Let's go.
Absolutely. I
So
guarantee Shaq has no idea who that is.
Charles is like, Denny's? We going to Denny's after this? Like,
so
There's good
just
and bad.
just with, so with the three clips that I showed you guys, like what did you guys walk away with? Is LeBron justifiable for how he's reacting, or is he egging this on with the social media video of Stephen A boxing, or is this LeBron just showing Stephen A that he doesn't care what Stephen A has to say and that this is all just a big joke to him? This is Stephen A. If he handled it better, just talking about basketball, would that have been justifiable to critique Bronny as an NBA basketball player strictly? Like what would have been the right way to do this? And what's the final outcome? What do you guys think is going to happen? Is this going to continue to go on? Is this going to now, because it's so big, and actually maybe help the NBA and fix the issues that's happening? Maybe this is a wake up call for the league. Like, what's your outtake of what happened, and where does it go from here?
I think this will probably be the last time LeBron like addresses at least something like this personal. I think it's gonna kind of be made. Stephen A. is kind of be made of an example a little bit. I do think he basically just wanted, when Bronny got up, he wanted to check him and make sure, hey, keep my kid's name out your mouth. And that was it. After that, I think it's more of just him kind of trolling, making fun of Stephen A. Now, I don't think he really cares anymore. At the end of the day, he said what he said. He wanted to make Stephen A. be heard of. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I hope this leads into a more productive and a positive direction of sports journalism and broadcast. But yeah, I think LeBron said what he needed to say, and now he kind of just he doesn't care. To be honest, I think he's just making Stephen A. look stupid, and Stephen A. keeps backtracking on a lot of his words too, which is in my opinion, a clear indicator of Stephen A. knowing he's wrong and he shouldn't probably said a lot of the things he did say.
Yeah, he's
But
not
now
admitting it.
yeah, exactly. But now he's just dragging it on. So that's kind of my take from what happened, what occurred. Who knows? We'll see. But what do you think, Jonah?
Yeah, I think LeBron is done addressing it directly. We may see some subtle jabs here and there going forward where he doesn't say his name, but we know who he's talking about. But on the other hand, I think this is just the beginning for Stephen A. I think he can't wait to see the Lakers go home early in the playoffs, and I think he's going to have a field day. So I think this is just the beginning for Stephen A., but I think LeBron is done addressing it directly.
If the Lakers do get knocked out early, is he going to somehow say like LeBron took the focus away from basketball for the Lakers and brought on this was drama that was created in the locker room and
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
these things. He's gonna bring up that LeBron hurt his groin and then instead of being with the team went to his other son's CIF basketball game. Like I can see that. I can see it now.
All of that is
Well,
gonna.
let's hope there is no early exit, but I can see it now. If the Lakers get knocked out, yeah, he's gonna use
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's gonna fuel the fire.
he gonna be on first take the next morning, letting LeBron hear it.
Yeah.
But I hope it's not like that. I truly hope Stephen A. kind of takes a professional stance to this and like realize he messed up. Do I think that's what he's gonna do? Probably not. Most likely not. But I mean, hey,
Track record says no.
yeah. This is why the NBA is the most entertaining league in the freaking world.
The NBA is so unique. Like, can you imagine Patrick Mahomes checking Shannon Sharp on the sideline or something like that?
Well,
It just seems crazy. Like the biggest NBA player pressing the biggest media guy. Like that doesn't happen in other leagues. That's crazy.
well, I think regardless of the debates tonight, us maybe not agreeing on some things, we did agree on a lot. I think the one thing we could definitely agree on is that Stephen A. is not swinging on LeBron James, and if he did, I don't think a 6'9", 260-pound LeBron James is losing a fight. Can we
That
agree on that? If we're ever going to agree on something, I think we could agree on that.
yes.
Oh,
That's blasphemous coming out your mouth.
Hey, ain't doing nothing, bro. Stop it. He knows better than that. We're talking about like literally Hercules, like a guy who is like been hand sculpted by God as like one of the scariest looking guys in the world, most athletic dudes. I'm not hearing. Nah, don't give me that, Jonah.
Hey, that's borderline what he said about Drake.
That's right
Most
there.
handsome,
I wasn't saying nothing about
sculpted
best
from
looking.
God, sculpted from God.
Scolded from God. And I just said Drake is handsome. Like you scolded from God is crazy, dude.
Wow.
I mean, the dude is built like a Greek god, bro. Let's not act like this is
All right.
something. This is something crazy.
God, too many pause moments on episode 3, man.
Talk
Well,
about LeBron and Drake. All of a sudden, the collision just starts happening, bro. Man,
all right. Well, in all seriousness,
Two goats of our generation.
let's just hope that the game can be celebrated a little more. I would like to see that. I think the NFL, I think Major League Baseball, I think they do a good job of celebrating the game as a national pastime. I think the media, I think it tears down the NBA more than it brings it up. That's how I feel. And I think that there are certain people out there that like to point it out. There's a lot of people in the media like to point out that it's being talked about in that way, but they're not really doing anything, in my opinion, to actually change the narrative, right? So I would like to see something different.
That's why we're here.
But yeah, we're here to spark conversation, man. But
New media.
yeah, yeah.
it's a new age.
Shout out Draymond.
I'm letting you know, I didn't start this podcast inspired by Draymond Green. I'm just letting you
Hey,
know.
Draymond laid the foundation for us sitting right here.
That might be your opinion, okay? I'll respect Draymond Green. He does have a good podcast.
When we get Draymond on the podcast, I'm gonna be telling him. He gonna be on it.
Someday. But yeah, so those are our 2 segments today. It was really surrounded around the beef between stars in the media and music. It was Drake and Kendrick. And then LeBron with Stephen A. Smith. We hope you guys voice your opinion on it. Who won the rap battle? Who won the media battle with LeBron and Stephen A? Any final thoughts for you guys before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I would just say I'm excited to win my first poll. 'Cause I know the Drake fans. We come in waves. We're gonna come strong, and I'm excited to see it. Let's go OVO.
Well, you need to pick up because the comment section has not been kind to you, Jonah.
It's all Laker fans. I'm tired of Laker fans.
Bro, you're acting like
sick.
You're acting like Kendrick ain't from LA either, bro. Like, come on, dude. You're talking about the real Southern Californians who care about music, and the guy representing LA, baby, and that's Kendrick Lamar. I also do want to give a shout out, speaking of LA, shout out to the UCLA women's basketball team. Our good friend Gabriela Jaquez had an incredible game today, just clinched their first Final Four appearance in UCLA women's basketball history. Shout out them. LA, we're standing up. Yeah, much love. Keep going. Get that ring, baby.
Four's up. Four's up. Yeah, congrats, Gabs. Hopefully you guys can take it home. I think that's a good way to wrap it up. So, yeah, we're going to get some content out to you guys. Please voice your opinion. You team Kendrick, you team Drake. Was LeBron James justifiable for the way he reacted? Is Stephen A. Smith justifiable to keep this thing going, or is it all for clicks? We'd love to hear you guys' opinion. Tune in for next week. We have some more things in store for you guys. Don't want to give away too much, but we're going to continue to change the game and try to give new content that you guys haven't seen before. And until then, guys, the garage is closed.